The unexpected arrival. In the vast reaches of space, the Orion system had always been a beacon of tranquility. Its 3 habitable planets, lush with vibrant ecosystems and thriving civilizations, orbited peacefully around their sun. The Harmony Coalition, a collective of diverse species united by a shared vision of prosperity and cooperation, had long safeguarded the system. The coalition was renowned for its commitment to diplomacy and mutual respect, its members working tirelessly to resolve conflicts through dialogue rather than force. The Harmony Coalition had never anticipated that their peaceful existence would be shattered by an external threat. Yet, the arrival of the Corthians, a species infamous for their aggression and insatiable hunger for expansion, was about to change everything. The Corthians, with their formidable fleet and ruthless tactics, had set their sights on the Orion system. Their reputation for swift, brutal conquests preceded them, leaving little hope for peaceful resolution. The coalition's leaders convened urgently in the council chambers, their faces etched with concern. "We have received intelligence reports confirming the Corthians' approach," the chairwoman, Alia Serin, announced. Her voice, though steady, betrayed a hint of anxiety. "They're demanding our surrender, or they will annihilate our planets." Ambassador Jurek, a seasoned diplomat known for his calm demeanor, spoke up. "We must appeal to their sense of reason. We cannot afford to engage in battle. We should offer them a generous settlement, something that will convince them to leave peacefully." The council debated fiercely, with opinions divided. Some members advocated for immediate military action, while others, including Ambassador Jurek, pushed for a diplomatic solution. The threat was real, and the Corthians were not known for their leniency. Time was running out. In the midst of the heated discussions, a new arrival disrupted the council's proceedings. A sleek, advanced ship, bearing the emblem of the United Terran Republic, had entered the system. The Terrans were known across the galaxy as a seemingly pacifist species, notorious for their reluctance to engage in conflict. Their reputation had often been viewed as a sign of weakness, but the Coalition's situation demanded every available option. As the Terran ship docked at the Harmony Coalition's space station, a message was transmitted. "This is Commander Eva Drayton of the United Terran Republic. We are here to offer our assistance." The Coalition's leaders were taken aback. The Terrans had always preferred negotiation over confrontation, and their sudden intervention was both surprising and promising. A delegation, led by Chairwoman Serin, met with Commander Drayton. "Commander Drayton," Serin began, "we appreciate your willingness to assist us. We are facing a grave threat from the Corthians. What is your plan?" Drayton's expression was serious. "We have developed a new technology, a defensive system that could potentially repel the Corthian assault. It's untested in real combat, but it's our best option." The Coalition's leaders were skeptical. The Terrans' defensive technology was an unknown quantity, and they had little faith in unproven solutions. But the alternative was to surrender or face destruction. They agreed to proceed with a Terran plan, hoping for a miracle. As the Corthian fleet approached, the atmosphere in the Coalition's command center was tense. The Corthians' ships, massive and menacing, loomed in the distance, their weapons primed for action. The Terran technology was deployed, its intricate mechanisms activating with a hum of energy. The Corthians began their assault, their weapons unleashing a torrent of firepower. The Coalition's defenses, bolstered by the Terran technology, held firm initially, but the Corthians' relentless assault began to breach the defenses. It seemed as if hope was slipping away, until a bright flash erupted from the Terran ship. The new technology unleashed a wave of energy that enveloped the Corthian fleet. The Terrans had designed a sophisticated energy shield that absorbed and redirected the energy of the Corthian attacks, creating a barrier around the Coalition's planets. The shield was not just a defensive measure, it was a formidable deterrent that caused the Corthians to hesitate. As the Corthian fleet reeled from the unexpected turn of events, Commander Drayton sent a communication to their flagship. "Corthian Commander, you have underestimated our resolve. We will not surrender, and we will not be intimidated. The Corthian commander, taken aback by the unexpected resistance, ordered a retreat. The coalition had managed to fend off the initial wave of attacks, thanks to the Terran intervention. The Corthians, sensing the strength of the defensive technology and the determination of their adversaries, withdrew from the system. The coalition celebrated their unexpected victory, but the real impact of the Terran assistance was yet to be fully understood. Commander Drayton and her crew, though hailed as heroes, remained humble. "We did what we could," Drayton said modestly. "We're just glad to have been able to help." As the coalition leaders reviewed the aftermath, they realized that the Terrans were not the pacifists they had believed them to be. Their willingness to intervene and their advanced technology had turned the tide of the conflict. The Terrans had shown that their reluctance to engage in conflict was not a sign of weakness, but a measure of their commitment to preserving peace whenever possible. The Harmony Coalition's understanding of the Terrans had changed forever. They had learned that sometimes true strength lay not in the absence of conflict, but in the courage to face it with integrity and innovation. The Terran intervention had not only saved their worlds, but had also demonstrated a new way to approach threats, one that combined technological prowess with unwavering resolve. The hidden potential. In the aftermath of the Corthian retreat, the Orion system began to rebuild. The Harmony Coalition's members were grateful but remained puzzled by the true nature of their unexpected saviors. The Terran technology that had turned the tide was still largely a mystery, and many in the coalition were eager to learn more about the United Terran Republic. Commander Eva Drayton and her team remained in orbit around the coalition's central planet, engaging in discussions with the coalition's scientific and military experts. They had provided not only their advanced defensive system, but also their expertise in utilizing it. The coalition had invited them to a series of briefings and joint exercises, hoping to better understand the Terran capabilities and motivations. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon of Harmony's homeworld, Commander Drayton was approached by Dr. Lyra Fain, a lead scientist of the coalition's research division. Dr. Fain was intrigued by the Terran technology and wanted to delve deeper into its workings. "Commander Drayton," Dr. Fain began, "we're grateful for your intervention, but I must admit, I'm curious about the technology you used. It seems to defy some of our current understanding of energy manipulation." Drayton nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Our technology is indeed advanced, but it's based on principles of energy redirection and absorption. We've refined it over years of research and development. However, our primary focus has always been on defensive rather than offensive capabilities." Dr. Fain's eyes lit up with excitement. "If I may ask, how did you come to develop such a sophisticated system? It seems unlike anything we've seen." Drayton smiled, a hint of pride in her eyes. "We have to develop it out of necessity. For years, we've faced various threats, both external and internal. Our approach has always been to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. This technology was a response to the growing threats we faced." As they spoke, the coalition's council members gathered in the main conference hall to discuss the future of their relationship with the Terrans. Chairwoman Elia Serin, Ambassador Jarek, and several other key figures were present. Their discussions centered on the implications of the Terran technology. Commander Drayton's intervention was nothing short of miraculous, Chairwoman Serin remarked. "But we must understand their technology better if we are to prepare for any future threats. We need to consider what this means for our own defense strategies." Ambassador Jarek, ever the diplomat, added, "And let us not forget the lessons learned from this encounter. The Terrans have shown us that even the most seemingly peaceful species can possess capabilities that defy expectations. We must remain vigilant and open-minded." And so, the Orion system returned to its peaceful existence, forever grateful for the unexpected arrival of the Terran heroes who had proven that even in the face of overwhelming odds, hope and ingenuity could prevail. Meanwhile, Commander Drayton and her crew were busy conducting joint exercises with the coalition's military forces. The exercises aimed to integrate the Terran technology with the coalition's existing systems, creating a more robust defense network. The exercises were both a test and a demonstration of the potential that lay within this newfound partnership. During one of the exercises, Drayton found herself working closely with General Curran, the coalition's top military strategist. General Curran was a veteran of many conflicts and approached the exercises with a keen analytical mind. "Commander Drayton," General Curran said as they reviewed the results of a simulation, "your technology has given us a significant edge, but I'm curious about its limitations. Are there scenarios where it might fail?" Drayton's expression grew serious. "Our technology is highly effective, but it's not infallible. It relies on precise energy redirection and absorption. If faced with an overwhelming or unpredictable energy source, there's a risk it might not perform as expected. We continuously work on improving its resilience." General Curran nodded thoughtfully. "Understanding these limitations is crucial for us. We need to prepare for every possible scenario." As the days passed, the joint efforts between the Terrans and the Coalition began to bear fruit. The Coalition's military forces became more adept at using the Terran technology, and the scientific collaboration led to significant breakthroughs in energy manipulation and defense mechanisms. Despite the progress, there remained an air of uncertainty regarding the true nature of the Terrans. Many in the Coalition were still grappling with the disparity between the Terrans' reputation and their demonstrated capabilities. They were beginning to question if there was more to the United Terran Republic than met the eye. The questions came to a head during a special council meeting, where Ambassador Jarek raised a poignant query. "Commander Drayton, we are all immensely grateful for your assistance. However, we must understand why the United Terran Republic chose to intervene. What is it that drives your people to act in such a manner?" Drayton paused, choosing her words carefully. "Our people value peace, but we also understand that maintaining it requires strength and vigilance. We act not out of a desire for conflict, but out of a commitment to protecting those who are vulnerable. It's a balance we've learned to navigate." The council members listened intently, their respect for the Terrans growing. The more they learned, the clearer it became that the Terrans were not merely pacifists, but had a nuanced approach to conflict and defense. Their actions were driven by a sense of duty and a desire to ensure stability across the galaxy. In the weeks that followed, the bond between the Coalition and the United Terran Republic deepened. They worked together to enhance their mutual defenses and explore new avenues for cooperation. The Terrans had proven themselves to be reliable allies, and their technology had become an integral part of the Coalition's defensive strategy. As the Orion system enjoyed a period of relative peace, the Coalition's leaders began to reflect on the lessons learned from their recent experience. They had seen firsthand that the true nature of strength and resolve was not always evident at first glance. The Terrans, with their advanced technology and unwavering commitment, had challenged preconceived notions and demonstrated that true strength often lay in the ability to balance peace with preparedness. The Orion system had been saved from disaster, and the Coalition's understanding of their allies had been forever changed. The future held many uncertainties, but one thing was clear. The bonds forged in the crucible of conflict had laid the foundation for a partnership that would shape the destiny of the galaxy. The unveiling of secrets. In the aftermath of the Alliance's victory over the Corthian threat, the Harmony Coalition and the United Terran Republic entered a new phase in their relationship. The once cautious and somewhat skeptical Coalition now regarded their Terran allies with a newfound respect. The mysteries of the Terran technology had been somewhat unveiled, but there were still many unanswered questions about the United Terran Republic's history and motivations. As part of their ongoing collaboration, the Coalition organized a grand symposium to showcase the advancements and joint projects that had emerged from their partnership. The symposium was to be held on Harmony's central planet, a sprawling world known for its natural beauty and vibrant culture. It was here that leaders and scientists from across the Coalition and the United Terran Republic would gather to discuss their achievements and future plans. Commander Eva Drayton and her team prepared for the event with a mix of excitement and apprehension. They understood that the symposium would be an opportunity not only to demonstrate their technological prowess, but also to further integrate their systems with the coalition's. The day of the symposium arrived, and the grand hall where the event was to take place was a marvel of architectural design. With towering crystalline structures and ambient light that shifted through the spectrum, it was a testament to Harmony's commitment to blending technology with nature. As delegates from various coalition planets arrived, they were greeted by representatives from the United Terran Republic, including Dr. Lyra Fane and her scientific team. The atmosphere was one of anticipation and curiosity. The symposium promised to be a significant milestone in the burgeoning alliance between the two powers. The opening address was delivered by Chairwoman Alia Serin, who welcomed the attendees and highlighted the importance of the collaboration between the coalition and the Terrans. Her words were met with applause, and soon the symposium was in full swing. One of the key presentations was led by Dr. Fane, who demonstrated the advanced energy shielding technology developed in cooperation with the Terrans. The demonstration involved a live simulation of the technology's effectiveness against simulated attacks. The audience watched in awe as the energy shields effortlessly absorbed and deflected the incoming energy bursts. "Ladies and gentlemen," Dr. Fane announced, "this technology represents the culmination of our joint efforts. It's designed to provide superior protection while remaining adaptable to various threats. It's a testament to what we can achieve when we work together." The presentation was met with enthusiastic applause, and the symposium continued with a series of panels and discussions. Commander Drayton found herself engaged in several conversations with coalition leaders and military strategists. The discussions ranged from tactical applications of the new technology to broader strategic considerations for future threats. During one of these discussions, General Karan approached Drayton with a thoughtful expression. "Commander, while our collaboration has been fruitful, there are still many aspects of your technology and history that remain a mystery to us. I understand that some of this information might be sensitive, but transparency could further strengthen our alliance." Drayton considered General Karan's request carefully. "We're committed to transparency and cooperation. However, some aspects of our technology are classified due to their potential implications. We're willing to share more information within the bounds of security protocols. Our goal is to foster trust and mutual understanding." General Karan nodded, appreciating the gesture. "That's a fair approach. I believe that as our partnership deepens, we'll find the right balance between security and openness." As the symposium progressed, a series of breakout sessions provided deeper insights into specific areas of research and development. The sessions included topics such as advanced propulsion systems, energy weapons, and interstellar diplomacy. The sharing of knowledge was reciprocal, with both sides contributing to the discussions and learning from each other's expertise. One particularly engaging session focused on the historical and cultural aspects of the United Terran Republic. Ambassador Jarek, who had taken a keen interest in Terran culture, led a discussion about the societal values and historical experiences that shaped the Terran approach to conflict and diplomacy. The Terran people, Ambassador Jarek explained, have a history marked by both conflict and cooperation. Our societies have evolved to prioritize peace and stability, but we also recognize the necessity of being prepared for any eventuality. This balance is ingrained in our culture and reflected in our technological advancements. The session sparked lively discussions among the attendees. Many were intrigued by the Terran philosophy of peace through strength and began to see the Terrans not just as allies, but as a model for balancing idealism with pragmatism. As the symposium neared its conclusion, the atmosphere was one of optimism and camaraderie. The Coalition and the United Terran Republic had achieved significant progress in their collaboration, and the symposium had further solidified their partnership. Commander Drayton and her team took part in a closing ceremony, where Chairwoman Serene and other coalition leaders expressed their gratitude for the Terran contributions. The event concluded with a ceremonial exchange of tokens of appreciation, symbolizing the deepening bond between the two powers. The symposium had not only showcased the advancements made through their collaboration, but also provided a platform for fostering greater understanding and trust. As the delegates prepared to depart, there was a sense of accomplishment and anticipation for the future. In the days following the symposium, the Coalition and the United Terran Republic continued to build on their partnership. Joint projects were accelerated, and new initiatives were launched to explore further areas of cooperation. The symposium had marked a turning point in their relationship, transforming it from a cautious alliance into a robust and dynamic partnership. As the United Terran Republic returned to its own territory, Commander Drayton reflected on the progress made and the challenges ahead. The path they had forged together with the Coalition was one of mutual respect and shared goals. The journey was far from over, but the foundations had been laid for a future filled with promise and opportunity. Shadows of the past. As the days passed since the symposium, the alliance between the Harmony Coalition and the United Terran Republic continued to strengthen. The shared knowledge and resources between the two powers fostered a new era of cooperation and innovation. However, amidst the optimism, an undercurrent of uncertainty lingered, hinting at unresolved issues that could jeopardize their newfound partnership. The Terran government had been working on an ambitious project, the development of a new class of stealth reconnaissance drones equipped with advanced cloaking technology. These drones were designed to operate in the most challenging environments, providing crucial intelligence while remaining undetectable. The project, known as Project Shadow, was of paramount importance to both the Terrans and their Coalition allies. One evening, Commander Eva Drayton and Dr. Lyra Fane convened in the war room of their flagship, the Terra Nova. They were joined by their key team members and representatives from the Coalition Intelligence Division. The mood in the room was serious. Recent intelligence reports had raised concerns about a potential threat that could undermine their progress. "Commander Dr. Fane," began General Karan, "we've received unsettling reports about an enigmatic group operating on the fringes of Coalition space. They've been interfering with our communications and sabotaging research facilities. We're calling them the Shadows, due to their elusive nature." Drayton's brow furrowed. "What do we know about them? Are they affiliated with any known factions?" "Not much," replied General Karan. "Their activities are highly covert, and they've left no trace of their origins. It's as if they're ghosts slipping through our defenses. Their motives are unclear, but their interference with our research and communication networks is troubling." Dr. Fane nodded thoughtfully. "If they're targeting our technology and operations, they might have an interest in Project Shadow. The advanced cloaking technology could be a significant asset, or a major threat if it falls into the wrong hands." Drayton agreed. "We need to ensure that Project Shadow remains secure. I suggest we implement additional security measures and increase our surveillance to identify any potential breaches." The team quickly mobilized to enhance the security protocols for Project Shadow. They'd increased the frequency of system audits, upgraded encryption methods, and deployed additional counterintelligence personnel. Despite these measures, the sense of vulnerability persisted. Meanwhile, on the Coalition's central planet, Ambassador Jarek was investigating the recent disruptions. His extensive knowledge of Coalition history and politics made him an invaluable asset in understanding the broader implications of the Shadow's actions. He reached out to old contacts and utilized covert channels to gather more information about these mysterious adversaries. One night, as Ambassador Jarek reviewed encrypted data from his secure terminal, a message appeared on his screen, an anonymous tip-off with a cryptic warning. "The Shadows are closer than you think. Trust no one." Jarek's instincts told him that the warning was genuine. He decided to share the information with Commander Drayton and Dr. Fane, hoping it would provide further insight into the Shadow's intentions. The next morning, Jarek met with Drayton and Fane in a secure briefing room. He relayed the contents of the anonymous message and his concerns about the potential threat to Project Shadow. "This warning is concerning," said Drayton. "It suggests that the Shadows might have insiders or sympathizers within our ranks. We must be vigilant and ensure that our team is aware of the potential risks. Dr. Fane agreed. We should also consider the possibility that the Shadows are not merely a rogue faction, but could be connected to a larger organization or power. Their ability to evade detection and sabotage key operations suggests a level of sophistication that goes beyond typical criminal activity. As the investigation into the Shadows continued, tensions grew within the Coalition and the Terran Republic. Trust became a precious commodity, and the once cordial atmosphere of collaboration was tinged with suspicion. The fear of infiltration and sabotage cast a shadow over every decision and action. Commander Drayton and her team worked tirelessly to strengthen their defenses and uncover the truth behind the Shadows. They coordinated with Coalition intelligence to track any leads and gather evidence. Despite their best efforts, the Shadows remained elusive, slipping through their grasp like wisps of smoke. Amidst the growing uncertainty, Drayton found solace in the unwavering support of her crew and the strength of the Alliance. The challenges they faced were daunting, but their commitment to each other and their shared goals kept them resolute. One evening, as Drayton reviewed security reports in her quarters, she received a message from Dr. Fane. It was an urgent request to meet immediately. Drayton made her way to the lab, where Fane awaited her with a concerned expression. "Commander," Fane began, "we've detected a significant anomaly in the data from Project Shadow. It appears that someone has tampered with the core algorithms. We need to investigate this immediately." Drayton's heart raced. How serious is the breach? Fane's face was grave. If the tampering is deliberate, it could compromise the entire project. We need to identify the source of the interference and take corrective action before it's too late. As Drayton and Fane delved into the investigation, they discovered evidence pointing to a sophisticated hacking attempt. The Shadows had managed to infiltrate their systems and tamper with Project Shadow's algorithms, raising the stakes of their struggle against this enigmatic adversary. The discovery marked a turning point in the investigation. The Shadows were no longer just a shadowy threat. They were a tangible danger with the potential to undermine their entire operation. The urgency to resolve the situation grew, and the team knew that they had to act swiftly to protect their technological advancements and secure their alliance. With the stakes higher than ever, Commander Drayton and her team prepared for the next phase of their mission. The Shadows' presence loomed large, and the path ahead would require all of their skills, courage, and determination to navigate. The unseen enemy. The investigation into the Shadows' tampering with Project Shadow continued to escalate. With every piece of evidence uncovered, the threat became more tangible. Commander Eva Drayton and Dr. Lyra Fane intensified their efforts, working around the clock to secure their operations and uncover the identity of their elusive adversary. As the team delved deeper into the compromised algorithms, they discovered something alarming. The tampering had not only affected their cloaking technology, but had also introduced vulnerabilities into their entire network. The Shadows had embedded malicious code that could potentially disable critical systems and leak sensitive information. "This is more than just sabotage," Dr. Fane said, her voice tinged with frustration. "This is an orchestrated attack aimed at dismantling our technological edge." Drayton nodded. "We need to isolate the affected systems and execute a full-scale countermeasure. We also need to determine the source of the attack and how it managed to bypass our security." As they worked to contain the damage, Ambassador Jarek continued his own investigation into the Shadows. His network of contacts provided him with fragmented information about a secretive organization known as the Eclipse Syndicate. The syndicate was rumored to have deep ties with various shadowy factions and had a history of manipulating interstellar conflicts from behind the scenes. Jarek arranged a covert meeting with an informant who claimed to have inside knowledge of the Eclipse Syndicate. The meeting was held in a dimly lit, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Coalition space, a place where shadows seemed to blend seamlessly with the surroundings. The informant, a roguish figure known only as Rax, approached Jarek with a wary glance over his shoulder. "You're looking for the Eclipse Syndicate, huh?" Dangerous territory you're venturing into. Jarek eyed Rax cautiously. I need to know everything you can tell me about them. They're involved in recent attacks on our technology and might be behind the shadows. Rax hesitated, then pulled out a data pad and handed it to Jarek. This is everything I've got, but be warned, these people are ruthless. They don't just target technology, they manipulate entire civilizations for their own ends. Jarek reviewed the data, which included intelligence reports, known associates of the syndicate, and hints at their operational methods. One detail stood out. The Eclipse Syndicate had a history of targeting emerging technologies and disrupting alliances to weaken their adversaries. This aligns with what we've been seeing, Jarek mused. The Syndicate's goal is to undermine our technological progress and destabilize our alliance. Back on the Terra Nova, Drayton and Fenn were making progress in repairing the damaged systems. They worked closely with their team to implement countermeasures and strengthen their security protocols. Despite their efforts, the constant threat of further attacks cast a shadow over their work. One evening, as Drayton reviewed the latest security updates, she received a secure transmission from Ambassador Jarek. The message was brief but urgent. We have a lead on the Eclipse Syndicate. Meet me in the secure briefing room immediately. Drayton and Fane met with Jarek in the briefing room, where he shared the information he had gathered. The details painted a grim picture of an organization adept at sowing discord and exploiting weaknesses. The Eclipse Syndicate's influence was far-reaching, and their methods of infiltration and manipulation were highly sophisticated. We need to act quickly, Jarek said. If the Eclipse Syndicate is behind the shadows, they'll be planning their next move. We must anticipate their actions and protect our assets. Drayton agreed. We'll need to intensify our security measures and work closely with coalition intelligence to track the Syndicate's movements. We should also consider the possibility of a coordinated attack. The team began preparations for a potential confrontation with the Eclipse Syndicate. They coordinated with coalition forces to increase surveillance and gather intelligence on the Syndicate's operations. The goal was to identify their next target and thwart any attempts to sabotage their efforts. As the investigation progressed, Drayton and her team uncovered a troubling pattern. The Eclipse Syndicate seemed to be focusing on key strategic locations within coalition space. Their aim appeared to be disrupting vital supply lines and communication hubs, creating chaos and confusion. One day, an urgent alert came through. A critical supply convoy en route to a research facility had gone dark. The convoy's last known position was within a known Eclipse Syndicate operational zone. The situation was dire, and Drayton knew that they needed to respond swiftly. We can't afford to wait, Drayton said. We need to deploy a rescue mission immediately and ensure the safety of the convoy. This could be a pivotal moment in our battle against the Syndicate. A team of elite operatives was assembled for the mission, including Drayton, Fane, and several coalition specialists. They boarded the Terra Nova and set course for the convoy's last known location. As they approached the area, they encountered signs of a skirmish, damaged ships, debris, and scattered cargo. The convoy had been ambushed, and the crew was in desperate need of assistance. Drayton's team coordinated a rescue operation, securing the convoy and ensuring that all survivors were safely evacuated. During the rescue, they captured a member of the Eclipse Syndicate, who was interrogated for valuable intelligence. The operative revealed crucial details about the Syndicate's plans, including their intentions to disrupt upcoming diplomatic negotiations between the Coalition and the Terran Republic. With this new information, Drayton and her team were better equipped to counter the Syndicate's schemes. They worked tirelessly to fortify their defenses and protect key diplomatic events from potential sabotage. As the situation unfolded, it became clear that the shadows were just one facet of a larger and more complex threat. The Eclipse Syndicate's influence stretched far beyond what anyone had anticipated, and their actions had far-reaching implications for the stability of the entire galaxy. Commander Drayton, Dr. Fane, and Ambassador Jarek remained steadfast in their commitment to protecting their alliance and securing their technological advancements. The path ahead was fraught with challenges, but their resolve was unwavering. In the face of an unseen enemy, their determination to prevail and safeguard their future remained as strong as ever. The battle against the Eclipse Syndicate had only just begun, and the stakes had never been higher. The shadow unveiled. The rescue mission had been a success, but the victory was tempered by the unsettling realization of the Eclipse Syndicate's reach and influence. With the convoy safe and the captured operative providing crucial intelligence, Commander Eva Drayton and her team prepared for the next phase of their counteroffensive. They now faced the daunting task of neutralizing the Syndicate's plans and preventing further disruptions. The intelligence gathered from the captured operative revealed that the Syndicate had an intricate web of operatives and assets spread throughout Coalition space. Their goal was to sabotage the impending diplomatic negotiations between the Coalition and the Terran Republic, which were critical for maintaining interstellar stability. Drayton and her team convened in a secure briefing room aboard the Terra Nova. Maps and holographic projections of key locations and Syndicate activity were displayed around the room. "We need to focus on two main objectives," Drayton began. "First, we must identify and secure any potential Syndicate operatives within the diplomatic venues. Second, we need to disrupt their plans to sabotage the negotiations." Dr. Lyra Fain, who had been analyzing the Syndicate's patterns, pointed to several locations on the map. "Based on the intelligence, we've identified potential targets where the Syndicate could attempt to interfere. We need to deploy security teams to these locations and increase surveillance." Ambassador Jarek, who had been working closely with Coalition intelligence, added, "I've coordinated with the security teams for the diplomatic events. They're on high alert, but we need to ensure that no Syndicate operatives slip through the cracks." With their strategy in place, the team divided their efforts. Drayton led a covert operation to infiltrate key Syndicate strongholds and gather additional intelligence, while Fain worked to enhance the security measures for the diplomatic negotiations. Jarek continued to liaise with the diplomatic teams, ensuring that their efforts to secure the events were coordinated and effective. One evening, as Drayton's team was conducting a raid on a suspected Syndicate hideout, they uncovered a hidden cache of equipment and documents. Among the items were blueprints for advanced sabotage devices and detailed plans for disrupting the negotiations. "This is exactly what we were afraid of," Drayton said, examining the documents. "They're planning to use these devices to create chaos and undermine our diplomatic efforts." Fain, who was on standby to analyze the devices, confirmed their worst fears. "These are highly sophisticated. If used effectively, they could cause significant damage and disrupt the negotiations." Meanwhile, Ambassador Jarek had been making strides in securing the diplomatic venues. He personally oversaw the installation of enhanced security measures, including biometric scanners and increased patrols. Despite the heightened security, he remained vigilant, knowing that the Syndicate was skilled at exploiting weaknesses. The day of the negotiations arrived, and tensions were high. The Coalition and the Terran Republic representatives gathered in a heavily fortified diplomatic chamber. Drayton's team, embedded within the security detail, kept a close watch for any signs of Syndicate interference. As the negotiations commenced, everything seemed to be proceeding smoothly. However, just as the discussions reached a critical juncture, an alarm sounded. Security personnel rushed to the source of the disturbance, a malfunctioning device discovered in the ventilation system. Drayton and her team quickly intervened, neutralizing the device and preventing it from causing harm. The incident was contained, but it was clear that the Syndicate had made an attempt to sabotage the negotiations. "Close call," Drayton said, relieved but still wary. "We need to review our security protocols and ensure that nothing else gets through." The disruption had created a brief pause in the negotiations, but the diplomats, now fully aware of the threat, resumed their discussions with renewed determination. Jarek worked tirelessly to maintain the momentum, and despite the setback, the negotiations eventually proceeded without further incidents. In the aftermath, the coalition and the Terran republics successfully reached an agreement, solidifying their alliance and ensuring a strongly united front against external threats. The negotiations were a significant victory for both sides, and the Syndicate's attempt to undermine the process had been thwarted. Drayton, Fane, and Jarek debriefed after the event, reflecting on the challenges they had faced. "We've made progress, but we can't let our guard down," Drayton said. "The Syndicate is still out there, and they won't stop their attempts to destabilize our efforts." Fane nodded in agreement. "We need to continue our efforts to uncover their full network and dismantle their operations." Jarek, looking both relieved and resolute, added, "We've shown that we can handle their interference, but the true battle lies in staying ahead of their tactics." As they continued their efforts to combat the Eclipse Syndicate, Drayton and her team knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges. The Syndicate's influence was pervasive, and their schemes were complex. But with each success, they grew more confident in their ability to counter the threat and protect their alliance. The struggle against the Eclipse Syndicate was far from over, but the resilience and determination of Drayton, Fane, and Jarek ensured that they were prepared for whatever lay ahead. Their commitment to safeguarding their technological advancements and diplomatic efforts was unwavering, and they remained vigilant in their quest to secure a stable and prosperous future. Echoes of unity. In the weeks following the thwarted sabotage attempt, Commander Eva Drayton and her team had made significant strides in countering the Eclipse Syndicate's influence. Their relentless efforts have resulted in the capture of several high-ranking Syndicate operatives and the dismantling of key aspects of their network. However, the threat remained ever-present, and the Syndicate's reach extended beyond their immediate efforts. The Coalition and the Terran Republic's successful negotiations had solidified their alliance, but the shadow of the Syndicate loomed large. The newly formed alliance sought to bolster their defenses and reinforce their unity, aware that the Syndicate's attempts to disrupt their cooperation were far from over. Drayton, Fane, and Jarek had been working tirelessly to implement new security measures and enhance their collective defenses. Their recent victories had provided a temporary respite, but they knew that the Syndicate's determination was unyielding. The team's focus was now on ensuring that the alliance remained strong and secure against any further threats. One day, a high-level security meeting was convened to discuss the next phase of their strategy. The conference room was filled with representatives from both the Coalition and the Terran Republic, along with Drayton, Fane, and Jarek. "Our objective now," Drayton began, "is to fortify our defenses and enhance our joint operations to prevent any future attempts by the Syndicate to undermine our alliance. We need to ensure that our combined resources and technologies are utilized effectively." Fane presented an overview of the new security protocols and technologies that had been developed in response to the Syndicate's tactics. "We've integrated advanced surveillance systems, enhanced encryption for communication, and improved counterintelligence measures. These upgrades will help us stay ahead of any potential threats." Jarek, who had been liaising with diplomatic teams, emphasized the importance of maintaining open lines of communication and trust between the Coalition and the Terran Republic. "Our alliance is built on cooperation and mutual respect. We must ensure that our diplomatic efforts continue to foster unity and strengthen our collective resolve." The representatives from both sides expressed their support for the proposed measures and committed to working together to implement them. The atmosphere in the room was one of shared determination, reflecting the newfound strength of their alliance. As the meeting concluded, Drayton, Fane, and Jarek discussed their plans for the upcoming months. They knew that the Syndicate would not rest, and they needed to remain vigilant. Their success in overcoming the recent threat had bolstered their confidence, but they were acutely aware of the ongoing challenges. "We've made great progress," Drayton said, "but our work is far from over. We need to stay proactive and continue to adapt our strategies to counter any new tactics the Syndicate may employ." Fane agreed, adding, "The Syndicate is resourceful and persistent. We must anticipate their moves and be prepared for any eventuality. Jarek, reflecting on the unity and cooperation displayed during the negotiations, remarked, "The strength of our alliance is our greatest asset. If we remain united and resolute, we can overcome any challenge that comes our way." The days turned into weeks, and the coalition and the Terran Republic continued to strengthen their partnership. Joint military exercises, collaborative research initiatives, and diplomatic engagements became the norm. The alliance's resilience was tested by occasional skirmishes and minor disruptions, but their combined efforts proved effective in maintaining stability. In a symbolic gesture of unity, a grand ceremony was held to celebrate the successful alliance and to honor the contributions of those who had played pivotal roles in overcoming the Syndicate's threat. Leaders and representatives from both the Coalition and the Terran Republic gathered to acknowledge their shared achievements and reaffirm their commitment to one another. During the ceremony, Drayton, Fane, and Jarek were honored with commendations for their exceptional leadership and dedication. The ceremony was a testament to the strength of their alliance and the enduring spirit of cooperation that had emerged from the challenges they faced. As the celebrations concluded, Drayton took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them to this point. The struggles and victories, the moments of doubt and triumph, had forged a bond between the Coalition and the Terran Republic that was stronger than ever. The battle against the Eclipse Syndicate had revealed the true potential of their alliance, showcasing their ability to overcome adversity and stand united against any threat. The unity and determination displayed by all involved had proven that even the most formidable challenges could be met with resilience and collaboration. With the Syndicate's influence significantly diminished and their immediate threats neutralized, the Coalition and the Terran Republic looked forward to a future of strengthened partnership and shared prosperity. The echoes of their unity reverberated throughout the galaxy, a testament to the power of cooperation and the enduring spirit of humanity. As Drayton, Fane, and Jarek looked toward the horizon, they knew that their journey was far from over. New challenges and opportunities awaited, but with their alliance as a beacon of hope and strength, they were prepared to face whatever lay ahead. The legacy of their collaboration would continue to inspire and guide them as they ventured into a future filled with promise and potential.